It is a hot day today here in Georgia. It actually says 88 degrees, but it feels way hotter out there because of the humidity.
Well, yesterday it was in like the high 90s, and it's supposed to be in the high 90s again today. So it's before lunch, so 88 before lunch is pretty hot.
But we're on our way to go pick up a
68 Firebird. Two of them actually.
One's an automatic car and the other is a 4-speed car. The current Pontiac count at the shop, it's pretty bad. We have the Pontiac Hearse, and we have the 83 Trans Am, and then we have a parts car for that one, and then these two will make 6 total Pontiacs at the shop. We went from none to 6.
And we're not even Pontiac guys.
Yeah, it just happened that way. Oh, there's an old car. It's a Corvair. No, it's not. Yes,
it is a Corvair, but it's got an
Corvair.
engine in the front. It had a radiator. So we're picking up this 68 Firebird, and this is one that I'm really excited to save. And this is the gentleman I'm getting it from. Would you mind telling us the story on the car, where you got it, history of it?
I bought this from a friend in high school, I think in 1978, and I drove it all over the place. And my brother drove it when I wasn't driving it, and it went from all up and down the East Coast, never let me down. Factory 400, 4-speed. A great car. Back in the day, I'm sorry, it got in this shape.
Well,
hopefully it'll come back.
We're gonna save it, absolutely. This one is going back on the road, and we're so excited about it. We finally got the hood open on this thing. It was stuck. It's the first time we're seeing under the hood of this fine unit. Looks like it's got a broke motor mount. The motor's all cockeyed in there. Oh, anyway.
You mean hawk-eyed?
Yes. We're gonna throw a battery in this thing, see if it'll turn over. I did try the old spin the alternator trick, but it is stuck more than that. I'm not saying it's stuck, but it's stuck more than that. Oh, does it have Earl in it? It has a milkshake in it. Perfect.
Oh no, that's not confidence inspiring.
Not at all. I'm gonna guess.
Usually when we look at them, they have like nothing on there or just black.
Yeah, or all.
Yeah.
Dusty.
Panasonic?
Panasonic battery. I'm gonna say that ain't got no juices in it. Get out of here. It's never good when your battery makes crunchy jingling sounds. Side post. Stupid. Well, I guess I ain't gonna use this battery.
Oh, do you want to tell us about the breather?
Oh yeah, I was amused that it had the correct breather for the hood, which I'm going to remove promptly and see if the carb light is stuck. Ew.
Looks a little rusty.
Looks a lot rusty. She stuck it in. I'm slowly but surely losing faith that this is gonna run.
Oh.
Eek. Eek. Yeah, she stuck it in. Okay, well, let me go get a side post battery. Okay. And I'll bump the key and see if it spins.
Does it not work?
No, the tag's bouncing a lot.
Why can't we pull it? Like, stick shift. So theoretically, could we not do that?
I mean, yeah. I don't think the starter works. It may also not have connection. We just started with this. Like, I don't know why.
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. I just got excited that it was a stick shift and we could actually, like, whatever.
I think we gotta get a... Oh, the light, the turn signal's on. Did it turn off?
Yeah. Oh, wait, I was trying to get a video on my phone.
Is it still there?
No.
What now?
Yeah.
we decided to just go ahead and tear this one down and see exactly what we were dealing with. I had a sneaking suspicion this one was going to be too far gone to get freed up. So, but it has two like large holes in the hood, so we figured it probably got rained in because it was right over the air cleaner. So we took it apart, and this is another reason why the car had a tarp over it, but there were holes in the tarp over the hood. But I really don't like cars that are tarped because it holds in the moisture, and I've had better luck with stuff just getting rained in blatantly, openly, than being tarped. But either way, we decided to tear it down and see what we were dealing with, and you'll see in a minute the results were less than spectacular.
Ew, this wouldn't have ran. Daniel. This wouldn't have ran. I said this wouldn't have ran. Show you guys a close-up.
Ooh.
Nasty girl. Yeah, I think this would have took you forever.
We might just need to pull this out. I don't know if there's any reason to take this apart in the car. That's rough.
Slightly. What is that like?
Rust. It's just rust. Don't clean them all out.
That's pretty wild.
Because we won't be taking the motor out of the other car.
So, what would have happened if you would have got this one?
If you would have ever got it unstuck, all that rust would have plugged up the oil pump pickup and it would have just trashed it.
Uh-oh. So can you get something like operable in that condition and just for kicks and giggles?
Oh yeah, I've had them run that look like that, and they don't ever last.
So that is also in the engine beeper too?
I did one years ago that looked like this up top, and I like pulled the intake and pulled the tray out of the middle and like pressure washed it. Like took the oil drain plug out and just sprayed water through it until it like ran clean. It will. I mean, I guess it will. I didn't grab it very much. Okay, well, we just need to swap the engine. Maybe we can change that broken motor mount while we're doing it. So we got one of the Firebirds in the shop. It was a disaster. The tires don't pump up, and the four-wheeler pushed it to the left, or to the door, and I had to come along and get on the lift. But the green one has a not at all good engine. It's trash. This engine may be good. I can spin it. Put it down here. I can spin it with the fan. So we're gonna pull this one out. This one is supposed to have like 300,000 miles on it, so I'm sure it's wore slap out. But like everything I've ever done in life, y'all watch me do it, I've always said that the more wore out they are, the better they are. And that has yet to be proven wrong. Good tight motors are always stuck and always just either really good or they won't work at all. Old wore out trash motors always run. Might smoke a little, but they always run. So without further ado, let's get this turd out of here. We've got the underneath took out. I got unhooked. I got the drive shaft out. The trans mounts unbolted. Motor mounts are off. Cables are off. Two of the exhaust bolts came out. Two of them broke. That's perfectly fine. So this car does have some floor pan rust. It really needs pans put in it, but other than that, it's not too bad.
You can see the shag carpet that's exposed. It's coming out of there. It's like a jungle underneath here.
What on earth is this heavy stuff? That's heavy. Don't get under that. I don't know what that is. There's a heavy piece of steel right there.
Oh, it's trying to come up. This side's also.
It needs floors.
Yeah.
Okay, let's let her down.
Oh, do you want to talk about why you want to put this engine back in the other? Why you don't want to do an LS swap or Chevy 350 or 305 or
Oh,
any?
because I have this one. I mean, it's also a 404-speed car, so I got the bell housing for the Pontiac motor, so that makes the most sense. Plus, I have this. It's here. It's sitting right here. Like, that's pretty simple. I'm sure there's lots of people that would say, you should just put an LS in it, but I don't care. If I wanted to put an LS in it, then I could do that. But I don't. This car is full of antifreeze also.
Why did you decide to give this to your mom?
Because she had a 68 Camaro when I was like a baby. I actually rode home from the hospital in that car. And she's always wanted another first gen F-body. And I came across these cars and I decided that I could make that happen for her. So, here it is.
So that's why we're not building this one for ourselves and using the green car.
Plus, I have a small block Chevy and a 700R and a Corvette. We're going to put that engine back in this. Because I want to do something wild and crazy with the Corvette, because like boring small block is a boring small block.
And that'll be better for her anyways. It'll be more reliable. And parts are more easily obtained if something does go wrong. So it just makes sense. Sometimes the engines and what the driver, owner of the vehicle wants to do with them depends on what motor that goes in there.
Yeah.
We have a slight mess under the car. Luckily we caught most of it.
Pull that bucket towards me.
Well, maybe most of it. I don't know.
So we're pulling the motor out of this car to fix the 4-speed car. This car was not tarped. It was just sitting out in the open. And my theory is that let the moisture escape, because this engine was in far better shape. It had a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan when we drained it, but nothing that you wouldn't expect from a car that sat for 30 years. But this one spun over and everything looked fine. So we're going to pull it out. And y'all stay tuned. We're going to put this car back together. We're not just taking it apart. It's got a, we got a good story on this one, so it'll make an interesting video also.
I think it took me way longer to get the other one apart.
Where's the 2 bolts you took out of the back of the car?
Right there.
I just need one. Maybe a washer. Yeah, I believe we're good to go.
Woohoo!
The starter's still on. There's probably a wire hooked to the starter I'll have to get. We'll start pulling it out and cross that bridge.
Keep going up?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it to clear this. Fit in there so much better. Alright. Alright, let's pull it back. So we can get the hoist off. Do this. How did it get in there?
Oh my goodness, what a nightmare.
My hat's off to all y'all guys that pull motors and transmissions together, because I'm completely against it. this one rolls way easier than the other.
Yeah.
You get the full one.
Made it in there in one push.
Yeah, that's what we want to do every time.
Yeah. It was not like that with the black one. That was an hour and a half of fighting with it to get in here.
Oh.
Round 2 of the day.
Yep. The underside of this car is also pretty bad. Maybe not quite as bad as the other one, but still pretty bad. It's got some rust. The rear floor pans are gone.
Same old shagging carpet poking out.
It is a 4-speed car, and it does have traction bars, like everything. I think these traction bars are homemade. Those look very homemade. They're not bent like those other ones, though. So, we're going to pull this engine out.
Daniel's going to take care of the bottom side, and the other day I actually went ahead and took care of most of the top side, so this one should be out pretty quickly so that we can throw the other motor in.
And this one shouldn't be too difficult to get out because I am not taking the trims with it. So all those debacles I had on the other one I shouldn't have. I'm taking the starter off before I even get started.
Rockers are in pretty decent shape, not too shabby. Back here is a little crunchy.
Ain't as bad on this one because it's got a it don't have power steering. Yes.
The other one I held the like hood open a little bit more.
Come on. See what comes out of this. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be mostly water, judging from what the dipstick looked like.
It's a slug. You're kind of missing the bucket. So the milkshake doesn't bring the boys to the yard.
That's nasty. It's glooping. How light? Is it that stopped up to the top side? It should be open, the valve, but there's nothing on the top side.
Just kidding! It said psych.
That's rainwater.
Yeah.
That is definitely not. Definitely not antifreeze.
What's up at?
Swap meet.
Like the Northeast Georgia swap meet?
Yeah.
Or another one?
No, it was Northeast Georgia swap meet. That I believe is going to be right. Dump's kind of close to the same spot. We're gonna try it.
We picked these up originally for my 62 Cadillac. So apparently
Yeah, I was gonna cut them up.
Yeah. Interchange, maybe. We never got a chance to try it though.
Yeah, we're gonna give these a whirl. I think they'll work. I pulled the clutch off, and the pallet bearing was sitting here, and fell out. It's not supposed to be there, and it's all gooey around it. It's been wallering around in there for a minute. And this clutch looks not too swift. That side still looks good, but that side is thin. Pressure plate looks like trash too. We're gonna go see if we can get a clutch. I could put that back in, but if I can get one, we're gonna get one. I gotta split the transmission later. I may as well blow that off too.
Yeah.
But we're gonna rattle can rebuild it.
Yep, there we go.
But we're real short on cash right now, so paint is not in the budget.
And time.
I love that paint's not in the budget, but I bought intake gaskets to put the fancy intake on.
Priorities. It don't have to look pretty. It just needs to run.
To be fair, this intake would run, but I have a whole lot more good hollies, and I gotta find the right socket. I got a whole lot more good hollies for that intake than I do good quadrujets for this intake. Off it comes. It had blue gaskets.
That actually isn't too bad.
No, this motor's in good shape. It's a little wore out, but it's not bad. Well, that gasket came off of the intake. Yay. And we'll clean all that up and rock and roll. Now we're gonna put the intake on. The gasket set came with these weird little orange things that appear to go there and hold the gasket in place. We're gonna go with that's where they go. I've never done a Pontiac intake before. Then it's got this stupid little rubber deal that goes in here. Not really a fan of the way this works, but that ain't gonna work right there.
Why?
Because this crossover is too tall. Interesting. Unless I've got the gaskets on upside down. Is that possible? Can you do that? I don't think you can flip them. I don't think that's possible.
This little hobbit is called Houdini.
I've got some of that orange silicone. Maybe I can just silicone that area up. I don't know. This is all very confusing. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some of that orange silicone and just put it right there. And it's, I don't know if it's. I'm thinking that there are two different variations of Pontiac intake.
Oh. Yeah, it does have an extra thing in its that's not straight.
Yeah, I know.
Does that
all the
does
holes
that gasket match? Is that one?
All the holes line up and everything else appears to match except for this. So I think what I'm gonna do. Where's the old gasket?
Right there.
Yeah, that one's got the big thing in the center too. I think the gaskets are correct. But that intake is made different in the center.
Oh, I do see that it's got more of this like bump.
Let me go look at the other intake, because I have another Pontiac engine over here.
Here's a better view. This is what we're talking about right there. And here's the bump right here on the old intake.
I don't know what kind of mess I got going on with this, but I got some of this orange silicone that's for high heat exhaust stuff. We're gonna fill this void with it because I, quite frankly, right now don't have time to deal with this. I need this car out of the shop. As long as it doesn't leak exhaust up here, I really don't care. And if it does leak, we'll fix it later. We're gonna take a peek under the valve covers to make sure this isn't a complete disaster. And while we're there, throw some valve cover gaskets on it and maybe clean out these valve covers. I feel like I'll be far happier with myself if I do that now as opposed to later. Oh,
Well, it's ready to rock.
this one looks great. Looks like a freaking winner. I don't think the other one has the guide plates like that.
I don't remember.
Press-in studs. This one's got screw-in studs and guide plates. I don't know if that's a thing Pontiac did for a little while or if that's like a performance deal. This side looks good too.
Yay.
It's amazing how these cars were set in the same place, owned by the same person, ostensibly maintained the same.
With pretty much same conditions.
I think the only difference was the other one had a tarp on it. I am an avid believer of not covering cars up. We have a nice new clutch going on. Quite frankly, one of the worst flywheels I've ever reinstalled. It's got some mad pit in it. I did wire brush it. So anyway, we got a new clutch. It's probably gonna eat it. Just labeled flywheel side. Flat side always goes towards the flywheel anyway. This had a pilot bearing instead of a bushing, which I was really happy about. So I like those better. Beautiful. Now this is trash. I don't feel like that would have lived very long. But I have a new one. It's Chinesium and probably won't live as long as this one would have, but
Spin that one?
this one? Yeah, this one don't make any sound. I guess I can use the spline lubricant also. That back there. Get out of here.
Wow.
If I can get this clipped back over the ball. We just gotta go. It's gotta go past it and then clip backwards. There we go. Yeah. That is headed home. So I've got the headers kind of headed in the right direction. They fit, which is impressive. The engine's all bolted in. I'm going to get a few things up here bolted on, and then we'll see if this thing will make some noise. Bump it again. Hey, go. Will it spin? Alright, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. And ain't got an oil filter. I'm gonna pump oil on the floor. Alright, the starter works, the battery's dead. Let's put the charger on it and go get an oil filter. And we'll change the oil, and then we should be able to have a runner. So we're gonna pour a little fuel down her and see if she'll start. And yes, I know I should not just pour this down it and spin it immediately, but I also don't have that much battery. And I want to see if I have spark. It's going to be amazing if it just starts. Yeah, I don't believe that battery's going to do it, and I also don't believe that will spark. Reach in there and spin it, and let me just see if I have spark real quick before I start. Go for it. Nope, that's good. Alright, we have a fresh battery. Go again. Actually, let me knock this choke open. Alright. We apparently don't have spark. Okay. It's got spark. So what I've got now, if I'm in the frame or not, what I've got now is, I've got my little gas deal hooked up, so I've got gas in the carb. I also fixed the leaky oil deal. I don't know why my gas jug's leaking, so it's not really a problem. So now I have an actual carb full of gas with accelerator, pump, squirt, and all that. So let's try that. I added a condenser on the negative side of the coil. I've been bit by weak spark from bad condensers enough times over the years that that's one of the things that I'm always willing to try. So, took our coil back up and tried this again. I just don't think we've got enough spark. It won't jump that gap, that's not enough spark. Either the coil's bad. It could be that the starter's just pulling the power down too low for that big fancy coil. You go get a better battery. I rummaged around in my stash of random parts and found a few spark plugs. I'm gonna move that back to get a little better view. Found a few spark plugs. Let's turn that off. These plugs that are in here, I can tell you two things about this thing. When it was running rich. And also these plugs are pretty fouled. So I'm putting my new plugs in it from the cabinet, and I lost the copper washer off that one. I can still one off this one. Anyway, we're gonna throw a, man, this plug's been dropped. I gotta gap it. Yeah, when I say gap it, I don't mean get a tool out and gap it. I mean I'm just gonna make it have a gap. It ain't rocket science, it's just an old Pontiac. So, anyway, we're gonna finish changing these plugs and try this again. We got good spark at the distributor, and it sounds like it's got compression when it spins over. I'm not gonna put a gauge in it to see, but, and we got fuel. So, if it gets spark in the right place at the right time, it don't have a choice but to run. And the guy said it ran when parked. So I haven't verified the timing yet, but this is the same guy I got the white Camaro from that I got this from, and that one ran when parked. So I don't have a reason not to believe the guy. If this was a random Facebook Marketplace car, then I would have a reason not to believe anybody and check, but it's not. So I found an anomaly. The coil was wired backwards. I put that back like I found it when I did this car, because I only unhooked one side of it to begin with. But I've wired it correctly. We're gonna see if that gives us more spark. Well, I bet it won't work with the wire not hooked up. I'll put my spark tester on it to see if it actually has spark. Alright. And we determined that we don't have spark, so I don't know what I got going on, but the points are working. I'm gonna say that coil's bad. I'm just gonna change it. I'm over it. So I installed a sketchy coil I found kind of halfway. Just hooked the wires to it. We're gonna see if it works. If this don't work, it's getting an HEI. It's getting an HEI anyway at this point, but I definitely don't want the choke closed. I already topped off my fuel jug. We're gonna see if this joker will run one more time. Just because I want to hear it run. let it run for probably 15 or 20 seconds with the true fuel in it. Now it's got regular gas in it. We're going to see if it will start back up easily and not fight.
What'd you say?
I said, yep, that'll drive around. Clutch works fine. It's got almost no travel.
Yeah, it's not like
But
that.
it works fine. That may be difficult to drive around, but it will do it. I'm getting back on the Firebird now. And I just want to say something to you guys. A lot of times we get distracted or pulled off our projects, and on this one I bought a new fuel tank for it because I wanted to like put a tank in it, and I found a good price on one. I bought it, whatever, and then I didn't have any more money, and the Cinnamon unit was not usable. It's trash. I'll show you all that in a second. But well, I think I showed it. Didn't I show it already?
Possibly, yeah, I think you did.
Anyway, I haven't had money to buy a Cinnamon unit, and then I also wanted to replace this water pump because the bearings in it it's got some play and it's hard to hear, but it sounds rough. And I was going to put a radiator in it and hoses and all that stuff, but I just haven't had any extra money, so I stopped working on it. It's very demotivating when you're working on a project and you get stuck. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it together with what I have. I'm going to put my boat gas tank in it, just run a rubber line to the pump, see if we can make this pump work. If not, I've got a little cheap electric one. And we're going to get this thing where I can, at a minimum, sling some donuts in the field. That's all I want. I want to just run it around the yard. I want to see that I've backed it off the lift and back on, but I don't know. I just want to play with it. That's what these cars are all about. So without further ado, let's do that. So we can see if our fuel pump works and see if the cooling system will work. And I guess we can replace parts as necessary later. So, yay. That fuel pump works great. The return line's working too, which is a slight issue.
Why is that?
Because it's returning.
Oh.
We'll have to plug that. But that's alright. What came out of that's fresh too, it don't even look bad. Okay, well, I'm gonna hook the line to the carburetor now, and then plug that return. And at that point, we should have, it may produce too much pressure with the return plug, and if it does, I'll run another line back to the tank, and that'll be fine. But for now, I'm not worried about it. Oh, we've got a radiator. It's got coolant in it, or water. We've got a belt on it, we've got a fuel system done. I got the master cylinder freed up, and I played with the brakes a little bit. I don't think they work. But we're gonna see what happens. This is gonna be, we're gonna like complete this car, but for right now, I just want to see it run and have some fun with it. This is 100% one of those like motivational things. All right, good enough.
You're leaking.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I shut it off. It gets hot.
Oh.
Yay, it runs. So, she's a little spicy.
Yeah.
Well, this radiator's got like a million pinholes in it, so whatever. But we got a running driving car. Motor seems stout. Trans goes at least a third.
Goodness.
I got 1 or 2 good third gear donuts.
Wow.
It makes plenty of torque to like
Yeah.
keep it spinning. It doesn't hook up at all. Of course, I'm in the grass, but like I almost got it stuck down there by the train track when I was turning around.
Oops.
But that's it. We're gonna finish this car. When I say finish, y'all know we're not gonna do any paint and body. I am gonna fix the rusty floors because the seat's not bolted in, and I'm gonna fix the rust around the back glass. Glass will stay in.
In the front. Glass.
In the front, yeah. I'm gonna do some like structural rust repair. I'm gonna try to keep the cosmetics as close to this as I can. So what would y'all like to see me do to it? The 400 strong. I think it's a 400. I don't really see any reason to do an engine swap. Kind of just want to like fix the structural rust and like take this thing to shows and stuff. See how many people I can annoy with a really crusty first gen. So, but that's it. This one's staying around. It's not for sale. I usually say everything's for sale, but this one will take a good bit of money because I'm quite attached to it. So, look forward to it in a future video. We may do one with all the like rust repair and stuff and just like taking it to a first show or something, or taking it up to the mountains and playing with it or whatever. But we got us a running driving 68 Firebird. Let me know down in the comments what y'all would like to see me do to the car. If the 400 let loose, or if the, you know, would y'all like to see a different engine? You know, what would y'all like me to see me do with it? I'm not doing a full restoration. If that's what you would like me to do, you can still, if that's what you would like me to do, you can still put that in the comments. Don't be disappointed if we don't do it though, because that's just not our style. So, I'm gonna see if this thing will restart or if it's gonna do like the Mustang and gone in 60 seconds when it failed at the end of the video. Hopefully it'll start, because I really want to drive it back over there and put it away.